Welcome to the circus. Welcome to the show. Hi, my name is Ray Ang. I am a writer director, but today I would like to emphasize the writer part of things. I am one of 25 Singaporean directors who is part of this anthology called What We Burn For. It is a collaboration between Writing the City and Atelier Arcadia, and I am very, very proud and thrilled to be a part of it. I have worked on film sets for the last 10 years. This excerpt is very much linked to that. If you have ever been on a film set, if you are a filmmaker, if you have worked in the industry, I think this excerpt might particularly appeal to you. So here goes. Welcome to the circus. Welcome to the show. Calliope stands in the corner, sipping on a paper cup of tea. If you could call a hastily dunked tea bag into lukewarm water that. She sees the ringmaster tap on their clipboard, signaling the beginning of the daily briefing. They call it the safety meeting, but very rarely is it about safety. Much more often, it's about how they're going to be putting their lives in varying degrees of danger that day. All in the name of art. Is it though? Sure, art feeds the soul and all that jazz, but surely being able to juggle 10 pins at once, or swing from one point to another, isn't exactly life-saving work. There is a reason why doctors have to go to medical school for years and be formally trained. But all you have to do to work at the circus is to be stubborn. Stubborn enough to practice swallowing swords even if it rips your insides apart. Stubborn enough to play with fire for a living. Stubborn enough to want to stay, despite all the bullshit you see on a regular basis. How quickly they have forgotten Sarah, who have quite literally given her life to this entire shebang. How quickly they have whipped out her name in the name of safety, only for the decision makers to completely ignore it for another hour of work and another episode of profits. The business part of things have far outstripped the show. The entire act is as appealing as the half-drunk cup of tea she holds in her fist. This circus prides itself on not just making art, but the seven art. It weaves poetry with score, paints images with light, choreographs a dance with all the lions. Oh, isn't it great? Look at how we've combined it all. Everyone here had a dream of working in the circus one day, and now they're living it. Calliope wonders if it has been everything they ever dreamed about. For her, it has been everything and more. Haven and nightmare every day at the toss of a coin. For the most part, everyone usually has the same idea. Let's show up, perform, and go home. The lions, however, will always have a mind of their own. They mostly adhere, but who knows what goes on under their pretty maids. Their team is to try, but it is hard when the owners have commanded that they replace their whips with apologies instead. Sometimes Calliope hears them beg the lions, who she swore laughed about it afterwards. She almost wanted to as well, but how could these oversized kitties with their even bigger egos understand anything but their vanity? It was futile both ways. Places. The strongmen are up angling their beams, the jugglers adding another load to their rotation, bundles of paperwork instead of pins. A pair of tightrope walkers are already up high, crouched on each side of the rope. You never notice them until things are rolling, when they stand up and you hold your breath. Is it because they need silence to perform, or because you fear their wrath should you make a single sound? You wouldn't want to be responsible for their collapse now, would you? The acrobats, the largest department, are warming up their hamstrings and cracking their knuckles. The aerial silks that adorn the circus opens the day, and the flying trapeze act will close things off. Then came the department that defined the circus, the clowns. Every circus has got to have the clowns, of course. How could a circus be a circus without clowns? It gives the entire department a complex, truth be told. Heads heavy with the paper crowns they crafted themselves. The ones with the bigger heads play the kings, operating and calling the shots. Then we have the bogus princes, focused on only one thing, clutching their knobs. If they haven't got their hands on it, would it fall off? Calliope sniggers at the thought of them clutching onto it, even in their sleep, turning and turning at nothing. Their understudies dive into the sand, placing down marks they hope to hit someday. Their funniest act, really, is that they think they are the most important of all the acts, with egos to rival the size of the lions' hearts. But they are quite literally A joke. Calliope sits down at her eponine, a device that does not work if not for combustion. The instrument whistles a happy tune to the untrained ear, but if you know your history, you will know it's a prisoner's march. He secretly enjoys the fact that the circus folk toiling away do not notice that it is a growing resentment that powers the music. She wanted to be a part of the circus since she was 19, even going to school for it. She thought that that's all that she was good for, looking like this. More scarred and flesh, a storm wearing skin, a circus freak through and through. What else could she be? What else could she do? She thought among the freaks was where she could find her kin, and yet they too have been unkind. Calliope is steaming now. She remembers all that she's endured. She recalls every nasty word. She recalibrates and fails, player and instrument choking up at the same time. The ringmaster calls rolling, and so she does, resulting in one of her signature smokes. They call it a take, so she takes her time, lighting up and watching the shenanigans from a distance, before chucking the steel of flame butt at her namesake. You, the cacophony of wails and screams, the symphony of pain echoing, the crowns on the clouds turning into wilted wicks. With one cigarette, Calliope has turned the circus into cinders. Talks as well. She walks away. She will find something new to burn for.